As you can see, we've got some new goodies to put on the Asuga. We've got these Adu Racing 7075 T6 front and rear shock mounts. This sent over from Garage Life RC. It's a 3D printed battery tray, which looks really well made. Got some flex in it. I love how he's cut this little bit here for your ESC wire to go into. It's got the normal mounting points to go into your chassis, and he's also included some of these Garage Life RC battery straps, which look absolutely awesome. Also got the Garage Life RC wing, which is nice and flexible but does seem really strong as well. It will fit to your stock Corelli mounts with the stock hardware. Looks really well made. There we go, all fitted. Battery straps in. Fits my two quite large batteries in there nicely. Got the Adu Racing shock towers fit nicely. We'll see how they hold up. And then we've obviously got the Garage Life RC wing on there. But yeah, all went together really nicely, fitted in nicely. So let's get this out and give it a bash. So we've got her out the Asuga at the BMX track. Got some big jumps here. So that's how she does. Running 6S. What a beast. What a jump. And he took it. Whoa! Absolutely awesome. Brilliant. That's me my favourite RC of all time. Absolutely fantastic. Do you see the height on that? Wow. Oh, she took it again. Oh, loving this car. Whoa! Everything looking good, shocks looking good, wings looking good. She's a flying machine. To mention as well, I'm actually running Captain Kagama RC, that's James Law. I've got his hinge pins in here which are holding up great, and I've also got the Adu hinge pin holders as well in there, as you can see. Forgot to mention that, but big thumbs up to Captain RC. Check out his YouTube channel, I'll put a link to below. Check out his hinge pins. Absolutely spot on, so strong, really good. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Whoa! Whoa! Shit. I held it too long. No. Oh, we've ripped an arm. Well, that was my fault. Held onto it too long before I brought it around, but to be fair, it's ripped the arm out. We've broke the standoff. The shock tower has taken it, which is a good test for that. Also, the actual hinge pin itself is completely straight in there, which is good. The hinge pin holders are absolutely fine. So yeah, it's just the arm, bottom arm, and that. So, but that was my fault. Held onto it too long, nosedived it. That was a big jump. Everything else seems all right, so not too bad really. Could have been a lot worse. But that's the end of the bashing for the Asuga today. Right, we've got the Kagama out, running the M2C rear and front beefcake shock towers. We've got the James Law Captain Kagama RC hinge pins in this car. We're running a Curon 825 motor. It's got 15 teeth pinion, 52 tooth spur, and the Hobby Wing Max 8 G2 in the no wing because it fell off. Some 6S backflips, which are really old. I've re-glued these 100 times. Couple of 3S 6200 milliamp 80C batteries in there, and an Asuga 35 kilogram servo, which is absolutely awesome. See how fast that servo is? Absolutely awesome. And we've got a battered old Kronos body to put on it for bashing. This thing's a bit of an animal. Let's give it a bashing. Whoa. Oh. Oh no! One beautiful car. Jumps so nice. We've got the Asuga back on the bench. Let's see what survived first from that mega crash. That was, 30-40 foot high in the air. The front shock tower absolutely dead straight. No issues with that at all. The Garage Life RC battery tray held up well, impressed with that. Seems to flex with the car, which is what you want. No cracks, no damage. It stayed in there tightly, kept the batteries in there nicely. And the wing, as you can see, held on really well. Gives that bit of flexibility but strength as well. So well impressed with those. What I'm more impressed with though is the arm broke at the bottom, obviously from that crash, which, why wouldn't it do? I've got a spare arm, which is always good. The CVD stayed nice and straight. The hinge pin holders seem to be absolutely fine, but I want to get this hinge pin out just to see if that stays straight. These are the ones from James Law Captain Kagama RC, but it looks like it stayed really straight in there. So let's get that out and have a look. Well, as you can see there, the hinge pin brace from Adu Racing has held up really well actually. Surprised how well that's held up. This looks perfectly straight, but let me just get it all cleaned up and then we'll take a look at it. The Adu Racing hinge pin holder looks like it's kept very straight. There's a bit of damage there, a little bit there, but nothing to talk about. That's done really well. The hinge pin itself, sorry, it's still got a bit of muck on it. It's held up amazingly well, and we'll test it to see if it's still actually straight. Yes, look at that. It rolls. If it rolls, that means it's straight. That has done really well. And this is the arm where it's actually broke. And as you can see, it's not actually broke at the seam is here. It's just ripped apart from that absolutely mega drop. But that remained perfectly straight with that hinge pin in there. So those hinge pins are proper tough. Right, let's get a new arm on it, a new standoff on it, and then it's good to go. Shock itself as well, just to mention, has stayed perfectly straight. Got the M2C pistons in the top of this as well, and they just work so well. That spring's absolutely lovely. Perfect. Let's get this lower arm completely off. Well, as you can see, it's snapped. Not necessarily where the seam is, as I showed you earlier, because the seam's up here. It's just ripped it apart. So yeah, definitely nothing that I could have done about that. Completely my fault. Right, we'll get the new arm in. Well, a new arm, it's actually a new old arm. There's no damage to it, it's just an old arm. When I replaced the last arm I broke, I replaced both of them, so it's a new old arm. I always like to get the actual arm in at this end first, So yeah, that hinge pin went straight back in there, perfectly straight, which is cool. Now I actually stick with the stock standoffs now. I've tried all the upgraded ones, M2C, custom RC upgrades, and they all break. So these are cheap as chips. I think £9 here in the UK for 4 of them. So I'll just stick to these. Remember as well, for these 2 screws that go into the actual hinge pin holder, you need some Loctite on those. As you can see, I actually dropped the screw into the Loctite, so I've left a little bit on there, but probably a bit too much, but I've cleaned off as best I can. So yeah, don't do what I did. That's probably about the right amount of Loctite that you want, but everybody's different. And I would use blue as well, because obviously it's easier to, blue's easier to get out. Wrench. And there we are, all back together, looking pretty awesome. So yeah, overall really impressed with all the upgrade parts that we've put on here. The Skeeter tyres are holding up really nicely as well. Really impressed with those. Overly impressed with those hinge pins, so well done James Law, they're fantastic. Anybody wants any of those, I'll put a link to his channel underneath. Or you can find him on Facebook as well, James Law. He's on most of the RC groups. But yeah, overall really impressed with this buggy. Still my favourite RC I've ever had. And at the moment, there's nothing that rivals this for me. It's strong, it's tough, it's fast, it jumps beautifully. It's great fun. Just love it. Asuga baby. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that notification button. More videos coming soon. Happy RCing.